Yeah.
Tani nadabi kongi jidu dela tusum sakpo giwa achipadi so hondi niga tusum de sakpo samche kache yoba tangchi tusum de sakpo samche di choraro ya mare dure yoba giwa de dure yoba de dodamga dimba dela di dodamga dimba di dodamga nguni konde nimba daba semchi tamchi saje saung yoba da tesongo yore dure yoba giwa di na 다그삼부터 대진지부터 취지인지 또 됐었는데 다그삼부터 무슨 가자 소소라 산촉수분이 끼고 상지나 나진지 로드 파 총도 성을더니 인fin을 로 은혜 생신을 핑고 오산이 로를 끼고 다마다 소치비 대 다그삼부터 대진지부터 뒤섬지 사제 탐지 인지 코난을 되는 것도 상지요래 대진지부터 취지 이제 또 없지 봐대 따뜻 눈이 요거 개와대 취지 이제 또 없어 semki tam 이제네 상제에 봐대 개와시 봐대 대화를 고요래 차로 때 이제네 처리 다다 내가 차로 차송 대송 거다 네 고안을 거더니 라쇼 같더니 다지 니다다 소가 소리 산지 매반도 거리 semki tam지 나낭바이 호미 삼지 로 tam지 로시야 과래 니섬데 하고들이 고도 산초 청비 용 띵당 상제의 용 띵당 상제 용들이 생긴 상제 상제 유학 가래 대통하고 그래 저 뭐요 또 왕탐시는 더 가서고 진설합 지 동데 특동사고 요래 되는 양에서 하고 유바양 아침 뭐데 네
So also before in the supplication we said by the virtues accumulated in the 3 times by myself and all sentient beings without exception. So that is all what is all that virtue accumulated in the 3 times, or all the virtue accumulated in samsara and nirvana. That virtue here refers to the love that is accumulated. So that love is not wasted, but we bring that back to mind. And then the second part was, and by the primordially inherent virtue, and so that refers to the ultimate truth. On the ultimate level, there is no such a duality of samsara and nirvana. That is ultimately all sentient beings possess the seed of enlightenment. And so these aspirations are accomplished by virtue of 3 powers. Number 1 is the power of one's own intention, one's own love. Secondly, the power of all the Buddhas, compassion. And thirdly, the power of Dhammadatsu. So this last one here refers to this primordially inherent virtue. So first there is the power of one's own intention, and that is when you yourself give rise to bodhicitta. When you give rise to bodhicitta, when you cultivate love, then the self-grasping mind will get lesser. By cultivating an altruistic mind, a real wish to benefit others, and especially those enemies who hate one. And then the second power is the power of all the Buddhas and great compassion. All the Buddhas of the 3 times attain enlightenment only by cultivating great compassion. And then the third one is the power of Dhammadatsu, and that is this primordially inherent virtue. That is to know that all sentient beings by nature are actually Buddhas. So that inherent virtue, that is the great happiness of ultimate enlightenment. It is to understand this primordial inherent virtue is to understand that the mind primordially is the Buddha, or ice is actually water, and only appears as ice temporarily. So therefore, understanding that, you know, that there is no self and other, and therefore naturally all these biased views of self and other and various other biased thoughts will just fall apart. There's no more thought things like I'm a Buddhist and he's not, and so on, no more division. And so that is the quality of bodhicitta, of love. If you cultivate love, you understand that all sentient beings can attain enlightenment. So this empowerment text actually here is very clear. Its words are very profound, and the words are very clear. By only reading this a few lines, we can get a very clear understanding of all the empowerment. So of the various texts, this is a very clear one. And also we receive through this the blessings of this practice lineage of blessings.
인피로 철지는 나디데 파장도 요래 뒤동시베든 추 탐제 정도로 알아 이렇게 뒤에서 뭐디 책도 장을 셀로 삼형제 일을 없나 되니 요바 탐지 8신 한 이건 연도고 요래 나디 요리 정도 그 삼제를 제까지 제나양 또 나리 총에 되잖아 자만하고 요 말에 나디 레다 박자 쳐서 뭐 요래 대외대 3년지 자체 모양하다 망드시고 갔다는데 되게 집에 못 가면 그 전도 나와 사지와 참여성 거 요래 이제 책에서 셀 고나 진짜 요래 저는 셀로 상당히 기다하죠.
So then the first of those five dharmas is the preliminary of bodhicitta. Lord Jigten Sumgön said, if the steed of love and compassion does not run for the benefit of others, it will not be rewarded in the assembly of gods and humans. Thus apply yourself earnestly in the preliminaries. So bodhicitta is the preliminary of all dharma practices, of all dharma. It is the only way to purify the selfish mind. In order to clear that away, we must cultivate a wish to benefit others, and there is no other way to clear it away. Only if we cultivate an altruistic mind, as we cultivate an altruistic mind, naturally the self-grasping mind will get lesser. And so it is the preliminary of all dharma. If you give rise to love and compassion, then naturally all activities become the 6 paramitas. But once there is self-grasping in the mind, even if you engage in kind actions, seem to be kind actions, if within the mind you consider yourself as most important, then none of these actions will become completely pure. Because for as long as there is a self, there will always be an accumulation, a further accumulation of karmas and habitual imprints. And so love and compassion is therefore essential, as we also mentioned the other day during the teachings on the essence of the Mahayana, and that is actually always taught in all the other Buddhist teachings as well. So this is the first verse by Jigten Sumgön.
처음하면 5만 명 시간이 슬라서 맞참지 가와던 고박을 깨작이 오래배나 다다 빼서리들 자와 탐진치 말에 너블은 가와 성내었더니 시랍대 막 참아겠다. 로바제 그 출력 강의 막 말 강의 막 공. 이 동하죠 그요. 빼세서 오치지 받으래.
So it says will be rewarded in the assembly of gods and humans. So that is when one cultivates bodhicitta, then all the gods and the humans, they will be happy. They will respect one, and they will like say words of praise with great joy. For example, somebody like His Holiness the Dalai Lama, wherever he goes in the world, all those who possess some wisdom will respect him and praise him, no matter who it is, from various religions and various people of various nationalities. They all respect and praise His Holiness.
샘지 탐지제 동들 뭐지 창집을 고망서버사 대제도 람사모왕네 양설랑마에서 멤버 샘지 샘지 발란데 지도 그 단지 대비된 세송자가 저거는 냠대 줘서 니디제는 뭐 나다다자 통해 나한테 나도
This page 1, the
green prayer book.
The green prayer book.
O Mother sentient beings, especially those enemies who hate me, obstructors who harm me, and those who create obstacles on my path to liberation and all-knowingness, may they experience happiness, be separated from suffering, and swiftly will I establish them in the state of unsurpassed, perfect, complete, and precious Buddhahood. All Mother sentient beings, especially those enemies who hate me, obstructors who harm me, and those who create obstacles on my path to liberation and all-knowingness, may they experience happiness, be separated from suffering, and swiftly will I establish them in the state of unsurpassed, perfect, complete, and precious Buddhahood.
강리 자속으로 요제도 동체 모여래. 문에들 삼형지 찌고래. 심지 탐지 파마마디 바 직장 매듯이 양대양대 다 나와라 소리 토마텔라 그요래. 제 탐지 내와서 네 거를 가래. 네 저거를 코도 줄 삼형지에서 찌고래. 오 삼형지 뛸 것도 탓하고 그래. 제 삼형지 찌와서 더 소속이 찌고래. 삼형지 소속으로 떼고래. 삼형지 소속을 보면 이 소속 고tor 삼형지 찌나 이런 거서 가봐도 지바래. 로그 안들들이 들이 알로 되는 것들이 고 빼세다 그래. 샘이 찌고 와요 봐이 시 동당문이. 그 적응은 이 삼형지 삼재가 되어오나 고톱시 세고 되어와요 뭐 대신에 자도 보면 생기 삼재 상계고 어디 가르게 된 거네. 나디 매반도고 그래. 되면 내가서 공고요. 온간 형제 있는 생기 탐지 팽개도 없어 대하고 그래. 뭐 봤습니다.
So this line here, especially those enemies who hate me and so on. So this and this part actually is what is most important. First and foremost, we must cultivate compassion, love for especially those enemies who hate one, because all of us who have entered the Buddha's teachings, in the very beginning, always we say, all Mother sentient beings. May all Mother sentient beings have happiness. And so, if all beings should have happiness, how can they attain happiness? In order for them to attain happiness, they must also possess the causes for happiness. And the cause for happiness is love and compassion. So they must give rise to love and compassion in order to be happy. And only if they give rise to love and compassion will they become liberated from suffering. And so in order to make other people happy, first of all, we must cultivate love ourselves. And once we have cultivated love, we can also give that to others. We can give that love to others. We can give them the causes of happiness. For example, if you love someone and you call them on the phone, from a distance. In an instant, you can hear their voice and you feel joyful. And so that is because our mind is a single continuum. So first we understand this on the basis of the ultimate truth. Our mind is actually a single basis. We are connected. And then also on the relative, from the relative perspective, we can establish a connection of love and compassion. When we cultivate love first for our enemies. And so first and foremost, we cultivate compassion for our enemies. We wish that all sentient beings, especially our enemies, attain enlightenment. And how can they attain enlightenment? In order to attain enlightenment, they must become free of self-grasping. And so therefore also I must become free of self-grasping, and I must habituate that. So we must gain the experience that if I give rise to compassion, then I can actually benefit sentient beings. So this is what we call the aspirational bodhicitta. So the next one we will read together, that is then the activity bodhicitta on page 2.
Thus
until I achieve enlightenment, I perform virtuous deeds with body, speech, and mind. Until death, I perform virtuous deeds with body, speech, and mind. From now until this time tomorrow, I perform virtuous deeds with body, speech, and mind.
산촉 샘도 담자죠 그거래. 하다 산촉 샘도 너무 나와 되래. 맛이 받을 때는 때려 되더니 소탈다 상신게 소탈도 도마 나와 돼. 맛이 받을 때 되래. 또 저는 정도 막 상타탐 좀 받을 때 너나티 기타 탐지 오만의 비비 홍지는야. 소탈 그감이 나랑 손을 타고 오늘 베비 홍으라고요. 나 토마용고요. 사실감이 나 자원을 맞서 봐. 게다 가이 오늘 베비 홍을 생기는 팽고 설로 찌찌고 제로제들이 다디 산쪽선배 똑같이 생기는 거고요. 데이터 생원을 드니 라미인 것들이 코르사와 탐지들이 파신 쪽은 거고요. 라미인 것들이 차대요. 되는 똑같이 생기는 거고요. 진남고 오만리 베비 홍대나 토마리 생기 담체 된 오만리 베비 홍라면 드니 운이랑나 드니 최고 팽기요래 아원형 받을 드니 티테견데 민자 독ኛ한데 연구요래 아원형 받을 파장장 아원형 받을 장고요래 대체 피는 알아 피고 나사미 드니 민자 독야 민 주가 연구요래 생기 탈코라서 드니 나중에 냠도 팽겨요. 생기는 네 맞히는 거고요. 소소를 실질도 팽겨요. 쪼그랑도 팽겨요.
And so that is the activity bodhicitta. And so we have said first, until I achieve enlightenment, I perform virtuous deeds with body, speech, and mind. And so that is the commitment of sustaining bodhicitta until attaining enlightenment. This is the bodhisattva vow that we have received the other day. And then secondly, we have said, until death, I perform virtuous deeds with body, speech, and mind. And so that refers to the various vows of the individual liberation, the pratimoksha. And then thirdly, we said, from now until this time tomorrow, I perform virtuous deeds with body, speech, and mind. So then, actually, any virtue that you practice, whatever virtue you practice, it is the motivation that is most important. For example, if you say an Om Mani Padme Hum mantra, if you practice according to the pratimoksha, then you recite that Mani mantra because I want to become liberated from the miserable states of existence. And so first there is the I, and first we do it for ourselves. And then if you recite the Om Mani Padme Hum from the perspective of the Bodhisattva vehicle, there is no I at all. There's no thought of an I at all. You only and single-pointedly think of benefiting sentient beings when you say this Mani mantra. And so that is what we then call the activity bodhicitta. And that kind of Mani mantra recitation is then the activity bodhicitta. And so if you have such a state of mind that wishes to benefit others, then just naturally, even all your samsaric activities become the 6 paramitas. And so then all activities become the activity bodhicitta. For example, when you wake up in the middle of the night, what first comes to mind is all sentient beings. And then from that wish of benefiting beings, you recite Om Mani Padme Hum, for example. And that is actually the greatest benefit for sentient beings and also yourself. Because if the I, the thought of an I is first present when you recite the mantra, it is like mixing medicine with poisons. Because the Dharma practice, the purpose of Dharma practice is actually to purify and to clear away this thought of I. This thought that wishes, first of all, that oneself benefits from it. If you have that intention, then the practice will be like medicine mixing with poisons. So if you think about others first, actually, and if you only think of others and nothing else, then actually you're naturally benefiting others and yourself. The power to benefit others will be greater, and actually that is your own greatest benefit. Then the second point is the visualization of the Yidam deity, the practice of the Yidam, and it says, if one's body, the king of deities, is not stabilized in the unchanging ground, the retinue of Dakinis will not assemble. Thus apply yourself earnestly in your body as the Yidam.
lo teng tangpo de jiba ta de yi se ni ba la de ye hong gong de la lai tu so gong de ji en gu zo hong li de le jin ni lai ko ka le yang go yo le don na sa chok sen de jin ji le ye hong lan de hong de din sai ko ka le jo lo yo me ne hong me to sa hong de ni ga ba de me to me ko pe de ta dang de ba so ye hong de ta ba ren ji ne din sa de ba chi ba yo ma le.
So second is the visualization and meditation on the Yidam deity. First of all, we must cultivate a wish to benefit others. And then next, secondly, the second thought, after having cultivated this state of mind, in an instant you visualize the seed syllable of the deity, the Yidam, like the syllable Hong, which actually represents the entire creation stage, the visualization. So first you just visualize the Hong, and then slowly you can train in the entire form of the Yidam deity. So first there is bodhicitta, and then from bodhicitta, this mind of bodhicitta becomes the syllable Hong, and then slowly, when that is habituated, it ripens into the complete form of the deity. Just like first you have a seed, then a flower bud, and then a flower. So if you always meditate, if you always sustain awareness of the Hong, that actually is the same as the deity.
Nuban Rama da yung yo din je ti su su te wala go lu chok yo le na ke te khong the la yu do khari go na te wala go na ni ko do ko ka mi te wala ne sa pa yin de long se te wala ne long ja sa ta le be ni te wala go na de ke yo le ye hong ta ko go ni ra ti je rong go chok yo le.
And so regarding the place where we visualize that Hong, in most places it is mentioned that you should visualize at the heart center. And so however, many people have issues with like the lung, the wind energies, and also various health concerns. And so for them, actually, it could be quite harmful to focus on the heart center. It could actually aggravate many illnesses or concerns. And so therefore actually Chigden Somgon had said you can visualize all your visualizations at the navel. So directly at the place of the navel, you can visualize any Yidam seed syllable. So on the relative level, the navel is a very profound chakra, because it is the main seat, the kingdom of all the other wind energies. So if you always visualize a hong at the navel, that actually is the creation stage. And so then the third point is devotion. It says, unless the sun of devotion rises upon the snow mountain of the Guru's 4 kayas, the current of blessings will not emerge. Thus apply your mind earnestly in devotion.
태촌매 바거든요. 라가 가와다 제와 그래 이 태촌매 바지 지라고 라마 사지 우진 뜻이지 때문에라가 대바다 제와 좋아미 바오나 이제 라면 생 몸량지 semba chiwa chando yore 왜 라마가 로망보 거 잡대나 로마가 살때 빠지는 라마가 겁내면 똑대 대 로마 제토고 요리 대베네들이 무자 버려서
So especially in the practice lineage of blessings, the devotion to the guru devotion is most important. And so guru devotion arises from a mind that is free of any doubts. There's no doubts in the mind, and there is great joy and great love for that guru. And one sees the guru also as the actual Buddha. So in brief, if the mind, if one is fully devoted, if one's devotion and love is unchanging, then the mind of the guru and the disciples can become one. And so then, for example, if that guru has practiced meditation for many years, and then that disciple thinks of that guru with that single pointedness, with this unchanging love and devotion, then the power of that realization can actually come to the mind of that disciple. So therefore, the guru devotion is most important.
Beda de bamba de da zo wa beda kola da bara beda alogon ba de da zo beda kola da bara beda gindi ba de da zo wa beda kola da bara beda ne de ba de da ya zo wa what hum de jan da na ga ba wan go lo je zo wa da be yum no je de la le ya da zo ma no ta ye ga je ga so ne ko ne thong la le ko je da ne ra ga da to bo jo so je ma le je de ba jo mo de ne te ren jo la wan go ra de je sa jo so ma je lo na te zo do da jam de ba de la to wa de la me ko la ba cham be yum je 오토만 저서 성성제 그래 되지원 이제 사게 중에 와도 막 와서 이제 되지 이거는 원고는 원고도 제제 뭐래 가서 봐야서 가져서 내려서 와좀 봐서 원에서 와다다 가다 배 어디서 말이야 림바디 보고원 거는 나고 그러니 사제 통제서 잡아 뽑아는 지 감성 수지 통제 계속 쇼 니기 통제를 탐송지 되는 나칼 하통제서 본발에 되는 거 본전이 무서야 동거요지 그래서 뭐 실마리 봐 통제는 본능 걸 라서지 본박하라 종이 샤 디선 학통제 쳐다 이 쳐들 좁거려 운이지 저 담을 봐요 말이 나가 따와신 용왕나들 라고 요래 라미들이 대대도 보고래지 이렇게 뭐 범죄 통지 범죄 세 가지 계속 말로 못 받아도 왕을 거니 나그 건 차법하는지 계속 왕을 마시고 대답을 건 거래 왕 가지 전에 주지 고문들이 네 받지 뭐래
So then later when you receive this nectar, now think that this nectar and comes down like from the space, from all the Buddhas, from space, the blessings of all the Buddhas showers down, and first it melts with this vase nectar, and then it merges into your crown. And so think that it dissolves into the crown of all sentient beings, of the three planes of existence in samsara, and also it dissolves into the entire universe. So first the blessings of all the deities abiding in space merges with the nectar in that vase, And then when we drink it, since we still perceive a substantial dual reality, we can receive this nectar and think that we received this from the deity in space, the deities which are reflected in this image above the Dharma. And we receive their blessings which has merged in that nectar. And so actually not only from the relative perspective, but also from the actual ultimate perspective, water, for example, is not ordinary. It is actually a Buddha emanation, a Nirmanakaya. According to the Tantric system, the 5 elements have the nature of the deity. And so then when you later receive this nectar, there's the water in your palm, you can drink half of it and the other half place it onto your crown and think that the blessings of all the Buddhas abiding in space dissolves into your crown and enters your central channel and then fills up your entire body. And so actually this is how you should visualize whenever you receive any empowerment. If you think in this way, it is even more powerful.
드니 범벌체 쪽은 마시오. 쇼는 속보 상랑매 봤더니 너들이 밥을 코막 탐신이 쳐 살아야 동안 나는 계속이 쳐 야처럼 들이 되라. 드니 뭐 홀로 된 정도 욕돼 봤더니 염진 군도 성분으로 염마무지 드니 계속라 요요자 잡으려나 라마 내들은 요요사 드리고 거래지. 홀로 된 정도 욕들이 그래. 그래. 번째 니 누구가 이제 연파벌이야. 그것만 이제는 욕. 뭐 쫄리면 파모 찍 봐도 요말. 못 잡으려면 말이야. 라마디더니 초성군지 작성군지야.
So the nectar hasn't entered your crown, and think that this nectar then fills up your entire body, and then it leaves your body through each and every pore to the outside, and this then renders your body transparent. There's no more inner and outer. And so then the nectar also overflows on your crown, and I think that it forms this crown ornament of Chakra who then stays on your crown together with the consort Vajravarahi, and having the essence of your own root guru, who is the embodiment of the 3 jewels and the 3 roots. 얘는 밑밥 잠만 놓고 말아. 자잔 놓고 말아. 나보다.
네, 잠이 지금이요.
자잔 놓고.
라마 해로가요. 대선 상황을 개발해서 안 돼. 라마 산지 라마 추지. 라마 산지 라마 추대야 랍쇼죠. 라마 근데 라마 해로가는데.
So that visualization here in the text says the same one we just mentioned. The vase water confers the empowerment onto the crown of the disciple, who should visualize themselves as a deity. It fills up your entire body and purifies all defilements. The nectar then overflows and pools together at the crown of your head and becomes in essence your own root guru, and in appearance the glorious Haruka Chakra Samvara, a clear blue in color, 2 arms holding a Vajra and bell, and embracing the consort Vajravarahi.
Lama Sanjay Lama Juya Lama Ganede, Kunjabo Lama Lama Sharakandu, Towang, Pamanga to the Lomes Wadaba, De Jidu, can be in this one, Jidishana. That you would get. Lame,
Lame,
Chinam,
Te Nang,
Kun Rang Yin,
Gen Ran Yin,
Da Ki,
Da Ki,
Jie Wo,
Jie Wo,
Lu Jie,
Li Jie,
Tei Le La,
Ti Le La,
Nie War,
Nye War,
Xiao Ne,
Xiao Ne,
Bum Wang,
Bun Wang,
Ga Wei Chu,
Ga Vi Chu,
Se Be,
Se Be,
Bak Cha,
Se Cha,
Tak Bar,
Tak Par,
Ze De Zo.
Ze De Zo.
In English. The enlightened marks
The body mark
of the glorious Guru completely enter
into
the form Bindu
the
at my crown,
ground.
and please purify
Please purify
the propensities
the propensity
of the wake state
of waste
with the water
with the water
of joy
of joy
of the ways empowerment.
of waste empowerment.
She so wa da be to ma ke ju zo bu chum de ko lo do ma ko do na ja je jin zo che wa je jong de ze ba sa ni do je da to do ya ji ba ra be tho jo ge ze mo no ge da to lo so de ye da wa se yong de da wa se be che chen mà chú bây giờ về đâu con à bố chế chế bình đó ta chẳng đâu chế về chế bảo đâu có tụi mình thôi luôn nó chế tôi chẳng sao ta ta cái bác bây chẳng thấu gì ở bữa thấy là chỉ thật chỉ giờ tụi bác cái trong cơ thằng tiền bà chắc gì chẳng用công bê chắc gì đó tụi mình về như thế này mà dùng đồ gì bằng bằng làm cho bà xử lý đồ gì có đâu mà cho cha chính xong cho chúng tôi bảo là nào cái gì tôi quan cái gì bảo tôi cho nhau我就叫我操也多几天也用多的了个当这把头的可能就把下边要不然出现用我就这些当年就说他就差着吧사자 그 대화다 도와 남나 그 제베제 저들아 라마 이마 등도 파디로마 히로가 호소 상주들도 요저 앞에 소소 라베도 도저 타로 뭐제 도지 나도 진바 잡도지 좀 모르는 거죠 뭐 지요 손이도 앞에서 지도 뭐 용도도 제 남절마 Mahamudra doje soje yung to ba de ji ga ayap je ga le je ba je mo ta ro jo ni pe me che ro go ya ya ga la de ba go lo dong ba ya yong je ro ze ka po de ya yong je yong ba jo ba sa jo ya sa ko ro je ba lo ma ta wa ta me ba zo ta ba de mo je zo wa ba je ba lo ma ta ba 남자바다 호메르 선저 라바자 젬보 제도 네 또마다 또마네 어저 까포트 따발라 탐송 진니 바하드니다基本的往过了，头的平时有。
And so then,
本的往过了，头累积过的少了。
and so then visualize that from the Dharma, a white light radiates and dissolves into your forehead. And so then it says in the empowerment text, with this the vase empowerment is obtained. All stains of the three non-virtuous actions accumulated with the body, such as killing and the waking state, are purified, and you are empowered to engage in the meditation of the creation stage. The seed and imprint of the Nirmanakaya are planted into your mind stream. As a result, you will engender the fortune of accomplishing the Vajra body.
라리아 상가 도는 로드만의 지대도 롬주 조바 롬주 조바
롱주 조과
샘진
샘진
Kun Ji Ge
Kinh Chư Kê
Da Gen Rin Par
Đa Kỳ Đinh Par
Nga Gi Thầy Lê La
Ngã Cơ Thi Lê La
Nye War Shok Ne
Nhê War Shok Ne
Sang Wang
Sa Wang
Ga Ve Chu
Gã Về Chi
Me Lam Pu Sheng
Mơ Lam Bư Sinh
Sek Par Je Ta Sor
Sư Par Dê Đơ Sô
English. And the voice of all beings, perfect resource,
Perfect resource
completely enters
completely enters
the speech window
the speech window
at my throat, expel and burn away the dream state through the blissful fire of the secret empowerment.
So what the Lama Kolodo by Indian Bani. Was there Marboda Yam Jan was a joke some commentary by Jumba or Roman de Bartenberg Zoo Shankarot.
And it says in the text, think that from the throat of the Guru and Chakrasamvara Yap Yum, a red light radiates and a stream of mixed white and red bodhicitta drops emerging from the union of the couple dissolves into the throats of the disciples. To represent the skillful the method of the nectar, you receive these blessing pills, these nectar pills, and so every day in the evening take a tiny little grain of that, just like a mustard seed, before you go to sleep. So just take it every day without interruption. So this is the blessing of the nectar blessing of the channels and the elements in one's body. So first the creation stage was the outer blessing of the body, and so this one here is the inner blessing of the channels and the winds and the elements, the drops in the body. The secret empowerment is obtained. All stains of the 4 non-virtuous deeds accumulated with speech, such as telling lies and the dream state, are purified, and you are empowered to meditate on the stages of liberating the upper gates. The seeds and imprint of the Sambhogakaya are planted into your mind stream. As a result, you will engender the fortune of accomplishing Vajra speech.
Then now to look at one didn't do it.
So within this empowerment, the practice, or the empowerment to the practice of the channels, winds, and drops of the 6 yogas is complete.
Lama Mi To Chu Je Go Dag Nying Kar Yi Ji
ye chi,
thích lệ la,
ti le la,
nhẹ war,
nye wa,
shok ne,
shou ne,
shi rab,
chi rab,
yi shi je,
chi chi chi,
nhìn thâu,
yin tou,
mân ba,
min ba,
sang war,
san war,
dễ thơ so.
ze de so.
The ultimate Lama,
From Lama,
unconceptual Dharmakaya,
unconceptual Dhammakaya,
completely enters the mind bindu at my heart, clear away
clear away
the darkness
the darkness
of deep sleep
easily,
through transcendent knowledge
transcendent knowledge,
and wisdom.
Ye so wa da be la ma na ko lo da ba ya da ka da na za mu po da na ya no pa jo ko da jo yo sem ka ma de be ju ba wa lo ben ja ka da ba me ba zo.
And think that from the heart of the Guru Chakasamvara Yapyum, blue light radiates and a stream of mixed white and red bodhicitta drops emerges from their sexual union and dissolves into the heart of the disciples.
Ba jo de mo je ya da wa da je ba je ba pa de la ma da ma na ya da ja ko la to nam je da da la me le de je la ba ja je bo de do zo. Nibbana de to di rwa ji ya re rwa de jo le ge hong yu sam ri rwa che mi je da zhe jiang de se che mi je so ma ja mi go re.
So together with this empowerment, you will then later receive a little pill to eat, and to think that within this little pill there is a Hong syllable, and take this pill together with the nectar, and do not bite on it, swallow it as a whole together with the nectar.
Ti shirab yi shi jo kwa kwa to yi jo ko le so nap sem la so be me ge le so so ba ta ni so ko de ka je zhe ma ja wo go de wa je be ren ba ko ba la wa ga chu ge sa mo na ba cha ju le ya de wa to do jian zhe ba ne ba ka di de se ba ya no.
The wisdom empowerment is obtained. All stains of the three non-virtuous actions accumulated with the mind, such as envy, and the deep sleep state are purified, and you are empowered to meditate on the stages of the great bliss of the lower gates. The seed of the Dharmakaya is planted into your mind stream. As a result, you will engender the fortune of accomplishing the Vajra mind.
다다 니들이 왕기다로 왕결들이 왕당 샤방 요래 니 다다 땡고도 오고송 땡고제랑 그 자롱 특성 연위에서 롱당 틀이 라왕 추니 틀이변아 라왕 진된 저는 톰나 이 인지대 진종 될때 오고송 땡고제는 라니 탑디 누가지 뭐 건데 자롱 연위게 이 대게 라왕 토프칼로티 오고 이제 이 사자tin 초과 디왕은 디는 디도 거래.
So in these last two empowerments, so in the previous one, the secret empowerment, one is empowered to the practice on the upper gates, the great bliss of the upper gates, and so here in the wisdom empowerment, it is the empowerment for the practice of the great bliss of the lower gates. And so that refers to the practices of the channels, winds, and drops. And so regarding the first one, the upper gates, as the first one attains complete accomplishment in one's channels, winds, and drops. So when one has attained accomplishment within of one's like mastery over one's own channels, winds, and drops, then one can. So first one visualizes oneself, one only practices with visualization, so which is one uses one's own body as a support. One visualizes like a concert and so on, but there's only one's own body. So that is the upper gates. And so once one has mastered that, like the upper gates of using one's own body as a support, then one can use, it says, like a consort. And so that is the great bliss of the lower gates. So once one has attained in like mastery of the upper gates, then one can also use the lower gates, which means relying on a consort.
Nove,
Gumbo,
Gumbo,
Plinjek,
Lenche,
Jibego,
Jibego,
Baki,
Daki,
Dewar,
Dewa,
Yishi,
Yishi,
Teglela,
Tiglela,
Nyewar,
Nyewa,
Shokne,
Shone,
Shirab,
Shirab,
Chenbu Wang,
Chenbi Wang,
Gorwe Pom,
Gobejo,
Pomi,
Pomi,
Gawa,
Gawa,
Tobanzo,
Tobandu,
这要是我这边那么多晚上喝了多把烟，你对吧？你这是不等要不就比上周节什么干嘛这边军吧不要说么这玩怎么没帮助？
I think that from the navel of the Guru, Chakrasamvara Yabyum, yellow light radiates, and a stream of mixed white and red bodhicitta drops emerges from their union and dissolves into the navels of the disciples. The fourth word empowerment is obtained. The stains of grasping at the three doors is different, and the stains of the transference state are purified. The fourth empowerment is obtained, and you are empowered to meditate on Mahamudra. The seed of the Svabhavika Kaya is planted into your mind stream. As a result, you will engender the fortune of accomplishing Vajra wisdom.
Có sung thúc sung quang lung á yi sum là minh bảo sẽ này thì yun tin sung thì có sung thúc quang rang lu lung á yi sung có sung thúc là minh đi thì sa chỉ cái yun tin chăm mà thì rang lu là thôi là yun tin cho quang thế thì giờ bây giờ sa đó mà ta sa chỉ cái yun tin thôi rang lu là thôi ba đấy.
So he mentioned here the four kayas. First we have received the empowerment of body, speech and mind, which ripens our ordinary body, speech and mind. And then having ripened the body, speech and mind, then fourth, we obtain the qualities of the Buddhas. So that is this fourth empowerment, or also the empowerment of the enlightened qualities, which is like a king taking on the kingdom. And so this Svabhavika Kaya, or the fourth Kaya, the essence Kaya, is when your own mind and the Buddha's mind become non-dual, when you realize my own mind actually is the Buddha. And then the fourth point is the meditation on Mahamudra. If the massing clouds of discursive thoughts do not vanish in the open sky of mind itself, the stars and planets of the two wisdoms will not shine. Thus apply your mind earnestly in non-conceptuality.
Ba Dang Ka Yam Sim Jin Je Du Me Lu Nga Yi Dang Yi Shi Nam Chu Ji Do Ji Ye Dang Nyam Jor We Cho Di Ngun De Jer Bar Ze Do So.
In English, bring forth the actualization of sublime bliss of the union between the four Vajras and the primordial body, speech, mind, and wisdom of myself and all sentient beings, extensive as space.
Mi tham sơ thêm ma ta xem trú bà tha trú bà xem mà quyên dìa tông bờ ngô lên nhằm bà rây dìa ràng cái rung hạ ý xong ta thô mà ní thì ní sáng chế ta nhằm bà rây thì nè cắp trú bà bằng chá rung rô chá xong thì sáng chúc xem là tí nè đá đi ra tràn nè đá chúc bà chá xong thì bên này chá rung xong nè giáp xong thì chukwa cha songa tiri ngowa nyi kuwa song tiri nyamsa nyongne tiri ti tangpo tawa to tiri gobe ta nyamsa nyongne tiri ti gyende tawa gomba lante goba kyuba lante tiri langi ti tatok tangwa je balo goba nyamsa nyonggo re
So here in this empowerment, we realize that one's own body, speech, and mind actually, to begin with, has the nature of the Buddha. And I'm only temporarily confused. So temporarily, due to self-grasping, the mind has become like ice. But now when this ice melts, it becomes one with the mind of all the Buddhas. So just like an ice block melting, when the ice melts, it becomes one with the ocean water. And so that realization, that is the Svabhavika Kaya, or the essence Kaya. It is born from a personal experience of how the mind then merges. And so first one realizes the view, the nature of the mind. Then one gains an experience, an ongoing experience in that view, and that is meditation. So first the view merges with meditation, and then the meditation merges with the conduct. So meditation is to gain an actual experience.
이 시에는 제가 도지용 뭐 가당 총 들었다데 좋아데 조랑연에 대해 파 시버don도 시버서 다들 잘 새로 되는 것도 차니 사킨 것도 감에 사바탐제를 뭐도 저래 들을 소요 말에 저땅디 샘상만디 라게 샘 단디 다 니디도 잘송아 대 샘때 당이 토만 상제에 받은 것이 오래 양다 니래 양다다 랑 샘 양다과 되라 랑 양다만 통통아 되라 파사자가 뉴mon과 요말이 첫 토자가 상지에 가까이 요말이 있어 고라고 디지스니 왕 벌고다 왕 벌지더니 공대에 자공 종종도 야 내지들이 왕고고래지.
So then, here in the text it says, Lord Maitreya said, within this nature there is nothing to be clarified. There is not the slightest thing to be settled. Truly look at your true nature. When you see the truth, you will become completely free. This primordial wisdom is great and subtle. It is like the center of the Vajra sky. It is stainless, it is liberation, it is great peace. You yourself are its father. Tomorrow when we, during the teachings of Mahamudra, I will explain this more clearly. Now we don't have so much time, so this belongs to the teachings on Mahamudra. But just in brief, so within this nature there is nothing to be clarified, is that when the mind becomes completely pure, when there is no more grasping at a self, there's no more dualistic grasping, then that mind itself is the Buddha and has always been that since primordial times. And that is the true nature of the mind. And when you clearly, when you truly see your true nature, then that is, then you're completely free. And to that nature, there is, within that nature, there is nothing, there's no affliction that is to be removed, and there is no Buddha that is added to this nature, no Buddhahood to be attained. So this is just to explain it briefly. So we will meditate for just a bit, and then I will offer the empowerment.
다른 종들이 공고를 어디 다 공카리 나잖아. 이는 나도 선생들은 나도 망보샤고 나도 라빠듯이나 나도 나도 샤송장 신경이 시바진지 거래. 시바진지고 시바들이 나도 파요 시바진 양등양든지나 이 시바제 딱 벌대요래. 나도 야샤나 시바직 신경이 시바 근데 세상에서 근데 뉴모반들이 무엇인지 시바데 나보자 대신에 시바데가 랑지 시바딘 조타들이 사지 시바딘 오들이 시바딘 오도 들이 상지 대 차용을 해.
And so for a beginning practitioner, from now onwards, you should meditate. You must meditate. And so you might wonder in the beginning now, what does it actually mean? How do I actually meditate? And so when you meditate, you look at your own mind. Mind looks at itself. And when you look at your own mind, what you will see first are many coarse thoughts. And so then, however, there is also an awareness of these thoughts. There is a knowing recognition, a knowing awareness that knows that there are thoughts arising. And so that knowing awareness, that is the one that you must sustain, that you must recognize. So that is the one to be recognized, and the thoughts, you just let them go. Because the thoughts, there's various thoughts that arise. However, this awareness is always there. It always remains there. There might be 100 thoughts, but there's still only one awareness that is always there. It is this recognizing awareness that recognizes that this is anger, or now I'm afflicted, and so on. So that is the one to recognize and to uphold, to sustain. And that is the nature of the mind. And when that is mastered, when that is accomplished, then that when you realize the nature of this recognizing awareness, then it becomes enlightenment. Then fifth is dedication. If the wish-fulfilling jewel of the two accumulations is not polished by aspiration, the results we have hoped for will not arise. Thus apply yourself earnestly in dedication.
초니시바는 저스는 초 릉하게 잡아 레베시 초네 생고 삼형제들이 그리 생고 삼형제 자담지 릉하사와 제는 같이 제는 센트사드로 나니 초도로 그래 레베시 초소 이때 독제 탑 가래래 게다 가래잖아 이는 공화제가 제일 좋고 요래 이 상지에 탑지 생지 동서가 공화리 중화래 진짜 공화를 같이 뭘 만들게 돈도 생지 동서 비슷한 거래서
And so it says here the wish-fulfilling jewel of the two accumulations. So there is the accumulation of merit, which is the cause, and the accumulation of wisdom, which is the result. The accumulation of merit refers to the activities, the virtuous activities we do with body and speech. And then the accumulation of wisdom is that of the mind, and that is to habituate, to cultivate love and compassion. If love always remains in your mind, then naturally your mind becomes more and more clear in whatever you do, no matter what you do with your body and speech. And that will then result in the accumulation of wisdom. And so dedication means that whenever you practice virtue, you do it for others. And it is from this aspiration that all the enlightened activities of the Buddhas for sentient beings have actually appeared, from the dedication, the aspiration to benefit sentient beings. So dedication means that if you, for example, only recite a single Mani mantra, you would think that I am doing this for all sentient beings.
다당 고른데 탐제지 드섬더 싹바당 유배 게베 사완디 직진제 취제 골베 저비제 레버 년투당 랑 산제제 살 문발문절왈 다당 덕자 탐제라 당월시베라 노발시베객 바르주베진 롱딘제 드당 드제 증코르지 조세베 마남카당 냠베 샘진 탐제 대화당 딩 동화당 잘 녀르드 사자 첨보 초크 무접 토발 저제
In English, may the roots of virtue accumulated in the three times by myself and all beings in samsara and nirvana not turn into the 8 worldly concerns, the 4 causes of samsara, and the result of the state of the Shravakas and Pratyeka Buddhas. May all mother sentient beings, especially demons and all enemies who hate me and others, obstructors who harm us, adverse circumstances, and demons who lead us astray, have happiness, be free from suffering, and may they swiftly attain the supreme city of Mahamudra.
The Sakin, Madin Yemedi, on you know, yet all about what they dog, Capso, Lama Sajija, Saji, Dogon Bada, Loja, the Madras, or Las, or Bana, Manya, Basoja, the Wasa, Nyamba, the Tanji, Tamsi, the Lama Saji, and she truly pay say Lama. The Lama gave she Tamjila, look at the song of the Saji, what could you say? Something, the Pajachimbo. Sonda, Uni, the Rang Single Lamas, non single Jimmy Shirap, then you mobile the Shinkin that is taking a Shinkin Shirap, the number Labateri, didn't remember. Lama, you bought it, they let in something you are there. Then you Shirap the Hindi, the Nanga Lama, they Saji Matat, then Rava Meba Chegore, or they knew around Juliana, the Rangi Chantry, the Sagona Sati was a child of Yori. The language area didn't Tango Yori and Donna. This is Nanga Lamati Hakos Tana. Didn't he use it any Totoka Kali, Jojong Cello, think I could want to be a big girl, just a really dog on a bit of children one dog. Jojong Kali, Lamgar, said the Litany, my uncle, the Sutola Mato, Jojong Panalo, then one could be in it. Zabdu,
And so then for the Samaya, the commitment in the end, so mainly we rely on the Guru, and we see the Guru as the actual Buddha. But the outer Guru is only the illustration, the outer Guru. And so, as a Samaya, we should see all the various spiritual guides and masters as an embodiment of the three jewels. And their form, Sangha, the speech, the Dharma, and their mind, the Buddha. And so we should have a vast devotion. And then ultimately we should recognize the actual Guru, the inner Guru, is one's own mind. It is one's own mindfulness. And to recognize that mindfulness that recognizes, for example, this is an affliction, I'm afflicted. That is your inner Guru. And so we should always sustain that inner Guru, which is this wisdom mind that recognizes and also love and compassion. So until you attain enlightenment, you should never separate from this inner Guru. And if you only have that in your mind, if the inner Guru is in your mind, and you, for example, practice a deity, then that will actually become the deity. Within that mind, actually, the entire creation stage of any deity is complete. So you should, as a Samaya, hold on to the inner Guru, sustain your inner Guru, which is your mindfulness, your inner wisdom, and your love for sentient beings. So now in the end, we will read the prayer for excellent conduct together. So for this empowerment, since we don't have so much time, you can stay where you are. And Rinpoche will come down to confer the empowerment. So please make like a way for Rinpoche to walk through. At the same time, while Rinpoche is doing that, we will read the prayer for excellent conduct together.
Annie.
Page 18. I pay homage to noble Manjushri, to those in the worlds of the 10 directions, however many there are, all the lions among humans who appear during the 3 times, to all of them without exception, I pay homage with respectful body, speech, and mind. The force of my aspiration prayer for excellent conduct brings all the victorious ones directly to mind, bowing down with bodies as numerous as atoms in the realms, I prostrate to all the victorious ones. In a single atom there are Buddhas as numerous as atoms, each residing in the midst of their sons and daughters. Like that, I imagine the whole Dharmadhatu completely filled with victorious ones. To those with oceans of inexhaustible praiseworthy qualities, with sounds containing oceans of tones of melodic speech, I express the qualities of all the victorious ones. I praise all the Sugatas. With the finest flowers, the finest garlands, music, ointments, supreme parasols, supreme lamps, and the finest incense, I make offerings to the victorious ones. With the finest cloths, supreme scents, and fine powders, equal to Mount Meru, all displayed in supreme and magnificent ways, I make offerings to those victorious ones. With vast and unsurpassable offerings, I venerate all the victorious ones. Through the power of faith and excellent conduct, I prostrate and offer to the victorious ones. Whatever negative actions I have performed with body, speech, and also mind, overpowered by desire, aggression, and stupidity, I confess each and every one of them. I rejoice in everyone's merit, the victorious ones of the 10 directions, the bodhisattvas, the prajika buddhas, those in training and those beyond training, and all beings. I request the protectors, the lamps of the worlds of the 10 directions, who passing through the stages of awakening, attained Buddhahood beyond attachment to turn the unsurpassable Dharma wheel. I supplicate with my palms joined together those who intend to demonstrate nirvana, to remain for kalpas as numerous as atoms in the realms, for the welfare and happiness of all beings. I dedicate whatever slight virtue is accumulated through prostrating, offering, confessing, rejoicing, requesting, and supplicating to enlightenment. I make offerings to all the past Buddhas and those residing in the worlds of the 10 directions. May those who have not appeared quickly fulfill their intentions, and passing through the stages of awakening, appear as Buddhas. May the realms of the 10 directions, however many, be completely pure and vast. May they be filled with Buddhas and Bodhisattvas who have gone to sit before the powerful Bodhi tree. May all beings throughout the 10 directions, however many there may be, always have happiness and be free from illness. May all beings be in harmony with the aims of the Dharma and achieve what they hope for. May I perform the conduct of awakening and remember my lives during all states, and all my successive lives from birth to death. May I always be a renunciate. Following the victorious ones, may I train, bringing excellent conduct to perfection, and engage in pure, stainless moral conduct, which never lapses and is free from faults. In the languages of gods, the languages of Nagas and Yakshas, in the languages of Kumbhandas and humans, and however many languages of being there may be, may I teach the Dharma. With gentleness may I exert myself in the paramitas. May I never forget bodhicitta. May all wrongdoing and whatever obscures be thoroughly purified. May I be liberated from karma, kleshas, and the work of maras, and act for all beings in the world, like a lotus to which water does not cling, like the sun and moon unhindered in space. Throughout the directions and reaches of the realms, may the suffering of the lower states be pacified. May all beings be placed in happiness. May all beings be benefited. May I bring awakened conduct to perfection, engage in conduct that harmonizes with beings, teach excellent conduct, and perform these throughout all future kalpas. May I continuously be with those whose actions accord with my own. May our conduct and aspirations of body, speech, and mind be the same. May I always meet with friends who wish to benefit me, those who teach excellent conduct, and may I never displease them. May I always directly see the victorious ones, the protectors, surrounded by bodhisattvas. In future kalpas, without tiring, may I make vast offerings to them. May I retain the genuine dharma of the victorious ones and cause the appearance of awakened conduct. Training in excellent conduct, may I act in this way throughout future kalpas. When circling in all my existences, may I develop inexhaustible merit and wisdom, and become an inexhaustible treasury of methods, knowledge, samadhi, liberation, and virtues. In a single atom, there are realms as numerous as all atoms. In those realms reside infinite Buddhas in the midst of bodhisattvas. Beholding them, may I perform awakened conduct. Like that, in all directions, on the breadth of just a hair, there are oceans of Buddhas, as many as in the 3 times, and oceans of realms. May I act and be engaged with them for oceans of kalpas. A single instance of a Buddha's speech is a voice endowed with oceans of qualities. It has the pure qualities of the melodic speech of the victorious ones, and is the melodic speech that accords with the inclination of all beings. May I always be engaged with the Buddha's speech. May I be engaged through the power of my mind in the inexhaustible melodic speech of the victorious ones, appearing in the 3 times who turn the Dharma like a wheel. As all future kalpas are penetrated, may I also penetrate them instantly. May I be engaged in and penetrate, and each part of an instant, as many kalpas as are in the 3 times. May I see instantly those lions among humans appearing in the 3 times. May I always be engaged in their sphere of experience through the power of illusion-like liberation. May I produce in a single atom all the arrays of realms there are in the 3 times. May I be engaged with the arrays of the Buddha realms in all directions always. Those lamps of the worlds who have not yet appeared will gradually awaken, turn the Dharma wheel, and demonstrate nirvana, the final peace. May I go into the presence of those protectors. Through the power of swift miracles, the power of the yana, the door, the power of conduct endowed with excellent qualities, the power of all-pervasive love, the power of virtuous merit, the power of wisdom free from attachments, and the powers of knowledge, methods, and samadhi, may I perfectly accomplish the power of awakening. May I purify the power of karma, conquer the power of kleshas, render the power of maras powerless, and perfect the power of excellent conduct. May I purify oceans of realms, liberate oceans of beings, behold oceans of dharma, realize oceans of wisdom, purify oceans of conduct, perfect oceans of aspiration prayers, offer to oceans of Buddhas, and act without weariness throughout oceans of kalpas. All the victorious ones who appear in the 3 times awaken into enlightenment through the excellent conduct of various aspiration prayers for awakened conduct. May I perfect all of these. The eldest son of the victorious one is called Samantabhadra by name. I dedicate all this virtue that I may act with skill similar to his. May I also be equal to him in his skill in excellent dedications for pure body, speech, and mind, pure conduct, and pure realms. May I act according to the aspiration prayers of Manjushri in order to perform excellent virtuous actions, not tiring throughout future kalpas. May I perfect these activities. May my conduct be without measure. May my qualities also be measureless. Remaining within conduct without measure, may I send out emanations. Sentient beings extend as far as the limits of space. May my aspiration prayers extend as far as the limits of their karma and kleshas. Though someone adorns with precious jewels the infinite realms of the 10 directions and offers these to the Buddhas, or offers the supreme happiness of gods and men for kalpas as numerous as atoms in the realms, the genuine merit of someone who hears this king of dedications, who is inspired towards supreme awakening, and gives rise to faith in it, is more supreme. Whoever makes this aspiration prayer for excellent conduct will be free from the lower realms and free from negative friends. He will see Amitabha soon, acquire all benefits, and be sustained in happiness. With all of this, his life will go well. Before long, he will become just like Samantabhadra. Whatever has been done through the power of not knowing, all evil, even the 5 acts of immediate consequence, will be quickly purified by those who recite this excellent conduct. They will possess wisdom, beauty, and the signs, and be of good family with fine complexion. They will not be overpowered by maras or turtikas. The 3 worlds will not make offerings to them. They will soon go before the Bodhi tree, and having gone there, they will sit to benefit beings, awaken into enlightenment, turn the Dharma wheel, and subdue all maras and their hordes. The full ripening for those who are involved with, teach, or recite this aspiration prayer for excellent conduct is known only by the Buddhas. Without any doubt, it is supreme enlightenment. I dedicate all this virtue following and emulating the warrior Manjushri, who is omniscient, as is Samantabhadra. With dedications praised as supreme by the victorious ones who appear in the 3 times, I dedicate all my roots of virtue towards excellent conduct. When the time of death comes for me, may all my obscurations vanish. Seeing Amitabha directly, may I go to his realm of Sukhavati. Having gone there, may I actualize all these aspiration prayers, fulfill them completely, and benefit beings as long as worlds exist. May I be born within a beautiful lotus in that excellent and joyous realm of the victorious one. And from the victorious one, Amitabha, directly may I receive a prophecy. Having received his prophecy there, may I benefit all beings in the 10 directions through the power of my mind with many billions of emanations. Through whatever slight virtue I have accumulated by making this aspiration prayer for excellent conduct, may the virtue of the aspiration prayers for all beings be accomplished instantly. By the infinite and genuine merit attained through dedicating the aspiration prayer for excellent conduct, may all beings drowning in the rivers of suffering reach the place of Amitabha. May this king of aspiration prayers bring about the supreme aim and benefit for all infinite beings. Completing this scripture adorned by Samantabhadra, may the lower realms be empty.